Okay, first and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I'd like to begin by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash, Barakata. Giving double honors unto the apostles and elders for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, I say Shalom. Even to the Akwat out there sitting and listening in silence, Shalom. So, I'd like to begin this lesson by introducing the title of the video, which would be Who is Salvation for, or Who Salvation is for, right? So I'd like to begin the lesson by understanding the term, salvation. What is that? And salvation, by definition, means deliverance, salvation, rescue, safety, welfare. I 1A, safety, welfare, prosperity. 1B, salvation. 1C, victory. So we could see now, defining the term salvation, salvation would be defined as, let me say, being rescued from something, right? Now the title of the video is Who is Salvation for? So who is being rescued? And we'll start, and to get the answer to that, we'll start at Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. So peculiar mean, let me say, special or abnormal. So they're different, right? And then we'll go into Isaiah 46 and verse 13. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation, see the term there, shall not tarry, and I will place salvation, again it mentioned, in Zion for Israel, my glory. So now we're seeing not just the term salvation we'll be speaking about is the topic, but now it's giving an identity to who the salvation belongs to. It says Zion, Israel, right? And now we'll head over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah is 23 and verse 6. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. Remember when we do the definition for salvation, one of the definitions was safety, right? And Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called Yahweh, our righteousness. So we're seeing here now that salvation is being given or belongs to a certain group demographic of people who are being identified as Israel, right? So we had the identity now. Who salvation is for Israel. What salvation is being saved. Now you wanna find out, salvation is being rescued, right? Well, if you had to be rescued, you have to be what? In a perilous position. You would need the rescue, right? So now we're trying to find out, what are we being rescued from? Before we get to that, more notes here. It also, salvation is not just for Israel. If we could go to, and the first point would be Isaiah 45 and verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So now it's in Israel mine elect. So we wanna say, elect, well, where's that? Well, we could go to Romans 9 and 27, and it could further expound on the topic. Yeah, 9 and 27. but we'll start with 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. So now, then you say, well, a remnant, who is that? Well, we could go to Romans 11 verses 5 and 8, and we get a better understanding. Romans 11 verse 5, 8. Right. We'll start at 5 and point being in 7, and we'll read till 8. So Romans 11 and verse 5. Even so, then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So remember how we mentioned the remnant in Romans 9? Well, now in Romans 11 it's also saying it, but now the remnant we see that it is according to the election of grace, and you know election is a choosing, right? So now the remnant, they are being chosen, and by what? By grace. So now we'll continue and verse 6, and it reads, And if by grace, then it is no more of works, otherwise grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace, otherwise work is no more work. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded. And verse 8, according as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. So now, we just read, and the point was in verse 7, what then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded. And now we know that the election is the remnant, right? As it was read in Romans 9 and 27, the election of grace. So the election is the remnant. And now we want to say, well, election and remnant, well, who is them? We could go and you could read this in Revelation chapter 7, and it could read, After these things that I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. So we could skip this. We'll go to verse 4. That's where the point started. And I heard the number of them which was sealed, and there was sealed 144,000 of the tribes of the children of Israel. And if you read the rest of this chapter, you'll see they're talking about 12,000 from the 12 tribes of Israel. And if you want to know more about the 12 tribes of Israel, you could go in Genesis 49, and you'll see where the 12 tribes of Israel were first mentioned, right? So now we know, well, the remnant is the election, and the election is given by grace. And we know that this let me say election or choosing is it also has to deal with the 144,000, the 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes that will be chosen. And we could go now to Revelation 20 verses 5 and 6. Revelation 20 and verse 5. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years was finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that part in the first resurrection. On the second death had no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So this would lead into a lesson for another time, but they're speaking about the 144,000. The ones who were chosen, the 12,000 of the 12,000 of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect. But that could be a lesson for another time, but I just wanted to touch on that point. And now we could also head to Isaiah 45 and verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name, I have seen thou, though thou hast not known me. So now we see still the talking about the elect, right? So what we could gather from all this, what I've just read, is that one, salvation is being saved. Two, salvation is for a certain demographic of people, which is Israel, and we also now have determined that Israel is out of Israel there is a certain group, the elect, who will be saved out of Israel. And three, we have determined what salvation is, who salvation is for, and we've determined the elect. But now the final point we have determined, well, salvation, but from what? And we'll start in Romans 11. Salakia, we'll start in Romans 11 and verse 26. Shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away all Salakia. So all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away all ungodliness from Jacob, who we know is Israel. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. So now we just get the first answer. Now Israel and the elect are being saved or being given salvation. But now we just get the first answer of salvation from what? And now we could read on, and we'll head to Zephaniah 3. Verses 8 and 9. Therefore wait ye upon me, said Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For then I will turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name Yahweh, to serve him with one consent. So now we get our next answer to the question, well, salvation from what? Well, salvation from all the nations. Just said there, for that day I will rise up to the prey, and the prey is the ones to be hunted. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. So now we know we are also being saved, or being rescued, or being given salvation from what? The kingdoms. And now we could read on to verse 13. But we'll start in what we'll read from, we'll continue reading from 9 till 13. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. So now we're mentioning more things that Israel, or the remnant, or the elect, looking to be saved from, or being given salvation from. And being haughty, it being being ashamed for all they're doing, so the actions are being saved from that. Salakia. And now we could read on. I will also leave. Salakia. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. So now, some more things have been mentioned where Israel are being saved from. They shall be saved from or be given salvation from doing iniquity, speaking lies, having a deceitful tongue, and from fear. So now more things that there was more things that they've just been promised to be given salvation of. And so basically that was the video there. Who is salvation for? Salvation is for Israel, salvation is for the elect. What is salvation? Salvation is being saved and being given salvation, being rescued, right? Who Israel is? They are the holy people of the Most High Yahweh, and they are the ones who were chosen in the beginning. And what they're being saved from? They're being saved from wickedness, from evil, from sin, from transgression, from basically unholiness and unrighteousness. And with that there, the video is done. I hope that this lesson has been edifying. I hope that you all the brothers and sisters out there who've listened in and tuned in have been edified and have been taught well today and have learned what salvation is, who it is for, and that it is coming. And I'll see you in the next one. And with that, we give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ka'akadash. We'll give double honors unto the elders and apostles for bringing this truth and pushing this truth in all sincerity and induction. We give honors to the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. And we give honors to the Akwat and the 144 and the elect and the remnant. And we give all honor, all praise, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ka'akadash. See you in the next one. Shalom.